You thought Adam Driver was going to be Magneto? Haha, not even close. Adam Driver is going to be a different X-Men villain, or maybe another one. We'll talk about it. So we've been covering X-Men casting on this channel for a while. We had not heard very much about potential Magnetos. Many people, like myself, had like a favorite. I thought Jason Isaacs would be cool. Seems like he's a little bit older than what they're going for, although who knows, because earlier this week, it was reported by one of those leakers that has a decent track record on this stuff that Adam Driver had signed on to be the villain in the MCU X-Men movie. And then another scooper, who's also usually pretty good about this stuff, jumped on that and said, I've heard that too, and also he's Magneto. And everybody on the internet was like, that's interesting. Adam Driver is an interesting actor. We talk about it in another video covering this from a couple days ago. He makes big choices. He's very emotional. He's got kind of a weird energy to him, but one that I think a lot of people find compelling. You know, a lot of you probably know him from Girls. A lot of you probably know him from Star Wars. He was in House of Gucci, The Last Duel, and of course, the most important roles that I didn't bring up at all, his performances on SNL that are really good.
One man came close to breaking me, H.R. Pickens. He did not succeed. For I crushed him into the ground!
Cameron, I know you're taking that acting class, but please don't do this.
His soldiers murdered my son!
No, they didn't!
And ravaged my wife!
Except they didn't! Now doth you have a greeting for thy fair princess?
Whore!
You guys seen Kylo Ren's lightsaber?
Yeah, man, that thing's weird looking.
No, it's not. It's awesome. Here, let me go see if I can find it. I'll show it to you.
I love him.
And where'd he go?
He vanished! He vanished! No, Pookie!
Oh, hey!
And I don't think I have to explain to you guys who Magneto is. He's the master of magnetism. A Holocaust survivor who wants to protect his people from the worst humanity has to offer. He's in all the movies, he's in all the shows, he's great. And it's no surprise that he would be in this MCU X-Men movie, sure. And while I don't think Adam Driver was on anyone's short list for Magneto, he's not that out there of a pick. He's a very talented actor, he's good at playing conflicted characters and imposing characters. Like, sure, he's not Jewish and he's a little on the young side, but Adam Driver made enough sense as a Magneto. That was at least until Thursday, when the former Nexus Point News reporter APOC Horseman on Twitter said that he made a mistake, and Adam Driver is not playing Magneto, but he is still the villain in this movie, and he's instead playing Mister Sinister. Now, I think this is a very interesting development, because first, obviously, as I've talked about in many videos, in fact, in one video very recently on my other channel, Nando View Movies, I made the case that Mister Sinister would be a very good villain for the first solo X-Men movie in the MCU. He's never been in anything before, he's got a lot of interesting connections, so what I imagine would be the first class that they would pick. They also got a lot of interesting connections to other villains that I think they want to use in the future. People are familiar with him from the cartoon, and he's had years and years of comic history to work with. And he's an interesting kind of villain because you can kind of play him one of two ways. Either you play him as the scary, evil vampire guy that he is a lot of the time. Definitely that's how he feels on X-Men 97 and in the original X-Men animated series. Or you can play him as what Sinister's been for the last around 10 years, where he's a much more campy villain. He's still evil, but he's having way more fun with it. He's wearing flowy capes, he's making lots of clones, he's giving big speeches. Mr. Sinister is the rare high-level X-Men villain who, while they take themselves seriously, is able to have fun. Magneto can't be having fun when he's doing what he's doing because he's so serious. Same with Apocalypse, and the Shadow King, and the Sentinels. Dark Phoenix, you sort of get a little bit of this, same with Mystique, Arcade, Mojo. But as far as one who could serve as a big threat in a first X-Men movie, Mr. Sinister is so clearly the best choice. Super quick background on Sinister. Nathaniel Essex was a Victorian scientist and contemporary of Charles Darwin who believed in an Essex factor, or an Essex gene, that would cause mutation to jump forward. So he predicted in the 1800s that mutants would be a thing. So he went and studied this, he did unethical experiments, he was laughed out of the scientific community, and he ended up on the doorstep of Apocalypse, who turned Mr. Sinister into not a mutant, but a mutate, which means he wasn't born with his powers. He acquired them at some point, and Apocalypse gave Mr. Sinister all kinds of superpowers. He could shapeshift, he could heal, he was psychic, pretty much whatever he needs. And he got chalk white skin and a big red diamond on his forehead for some reason. He fights the X-Men, he's obsessed with the Gray family, Jean, Scott, and especially Cable, because Cable is destined to kill Apocalypse, and a lot of the time, that's what Sinister wants too. He tried to take over a Celestial once, he tried to kill everybody on Krakoa. He's a bad guy, but he's fun. The fans love him. And if for nothing else, like, look at him. Iconic. It's the kind of costume that is dying to be in live action. And hopefully not necessarily an MCU kind of toned down version of this costume. Not necessarily that that's what I think they do anymore, because I really don't. I think their recent costumes have been excellent. But like, I want this Mister Sinister to have an enormous cape that he wears because he thinks it looks cool. So anyway, there were rumors that Adam Driver was going to be Magneto. You're like, maybe. Sure, I could see it. But then, when things change, and now there are rumors that Adam Driver is going to be playing Mister Sinister, it starts to feel very different. Because Mister Sinister is a character who you want to go big. You want him to have these big, emotional moments. You want him to be scary, and I think Adam Driver can definitely do that well. You want to be intelligent. Again, I think Adam Driver's got that. You know, he's got the fury of a Kylo Ren, but at the same time, he's got the showmanship of a Caesar Catalina. Or any of those SNL characters I showed before. By the way, Caesar Catalina is the name of Adam Driver's character in the movie Megalopolis, which is a disaster, but he's fine in it. But like, think about his roles in Black Klansman and Marriage Story, 2 roles that got him nominated for Academy Awards. Adam Driver goes big, and Mister Sinister needs to go big. I have a couple of small issues with Adam Driver Mister Sinister. My big one is, I kind of want a Mister Sinister who's British. I'm willing to budge on that, because I don't think it's that important, but I do like that aspect of his character. I like that he feels like Charles Darwin. He feels like he's from that era, even if he's been alive so long that he's probably changed a lot. I also worry that Adam Driver's Mister Sinister is going to lean very hard on the evil vampire thing, and he could still have a lot of energy and be very scary, but say if a different actor would cast. Like, I don't know, off the top of my head, someone like Luke Evans, Matt Smith, Jonathan Bailey. I think what that might signal is we're getting a campier Mister Sinister. And again, not one that cannot be scary, but just one that can be bold. And do I think Adam Driver can do this? Absolutely. I just wouldn't say it's what he's known for. You know, casting sends signals. Like how the casting of David Corenswet as Superman told you that they were going for a younger, more wholesome version of Superman, as opposed to a more gritty, weathered version of Superman. Or like how the casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom told you that they want this movie to make money. So what I read from Adam Driver, Mister Sinister, is maybe a more traditional take on the character. But still, he's a great actor, so whatever he comes up with, I think will be excellent. Unless he's not playing Mister Sinister. Because I saw a different leak later in the day by a source that I have no idea how reputable they are. But their leak suggested that no, Adam Driver's not playing Magneto. No, he is not playing Mister Sinister. Adam Driver is playing Reverend William Stryker. Reverend William Stryker has a very simple comic history. He is in what is debatably the best X-Men comic ever made, God Loves Man Kills. He is a mutating reverend who also leads a militia called the Purifiers. And basically, he does all of this stuff William Stryker does in X-Men 2, captures Xavier, tries to use him to kill all the mutants, but he does it at big rallies because he's a public figure. Like I said, he's a preacher instead of just a general. Not that I didn't love the Brian Cox version of William Stryker, but like a traditional version of William Stryker should feel like a more evil version of Billy Graham or Joel Osteen, or any of the characters from Righteous Gemstones. And this rumor went on to suggest that not only is Adam Driver going to be playing William Stryker, but he is going to lead some group. Maybe it is a church, maybe it is a secret militia like the Purifiers, and a member of that group is going to be, very light spoilers for the Spider-Man movie that isn't out yet, so this could all be wrong, Tremel Tillman's character, who we know is named William Metzger, who is a character from X-Men comics, and is essentially a reboot of Stryker for the internet age. But that character is going to carry over to the new X-Men movies, and he is going to work for or with William Stryker. Now, like I said, I do not know if this is legit, or more legit than any of the other rumors. I mean, you asked me 2 days ago, everybody's saying he's Magneto. Today, everybody's saying he's Sinister. This could change so quickly, and I think we will find out who he's playing, if he's playing anybody, at San Diego Comic-Con in a week. But let's say out of these 3 options, Magneto, Mister Sinister, or William Stryker, I think Adam Driver is a way more interesting William Stryker than either of those other two. Like I said, Magneto's a very particular character. I think you need a great actor to do it. I think there's other actors that could be in that position. And Mister Sinister is a character a lot of people have fan cast for a very long time. John Hamm almost played him in the New Mutants movie. I think he'd be an okay Mister Sinister. I suggested Wagner Moura, who according to rumors was in the running for this role and may still be. And my original casting for this years ago was Antonio Banderas, who I think would be great for this role. But like that to me is what is special about Sinister. Someone with a little bit of flair, panache. And I'm not saying Adam Driver couldn't do that. I'm just saying it's not what he's known for. What he's known for is big, passionate, high energy, fire and brimstone, like yelling, punching holes in walls.
And you're winning!
Very deliberate speeches as Jacques Legris.
And carnally, know his wife, the Lady Marguerite du Carouge.
And even intelligent monologues like from Caesar Catalina.
I work without caring what happens to either of us. So go back to the club.
God, Melopos sucks. Like, that is where I feel like Adam Driver is the most comfortable. So if I got to pick one, I would have him be the at first sympathetic and charismatic pastor who goes on TV just in this first movie, talks about the problem with mutants, talks about how it's not their fault, how we should help them, put them in jail, take away their powers because of something in the Bible. Don't have to play him Southern, although I think you could. Adam Driver's been Southern before. I mean, I've seen Logan Lucky. He can do it. I think that would be the perfect modern villain for an early X-Men movie. And the really fun part is, he doesn't even really need to be in this one. We can set him up as the main villain in the second one. Let us have some fun with Wagner Moura, Mister Sinister. And then in movie 2, we do Stryker, we do Magneto. I don't know, it's probably going to be Sinister since that's what people are currently saying, at least as of this recording, but I think there's something to an Adam Driver, William Stryker. I think that could be a lot of fun. And listen, if you love the X-Men, like I do, you love superpowers, you love messy relationships, a lot of fantasy tropes, which reminds me of a video I was watching called Time to Pivot to Romantasy, I guess, by one of my favorite creators, Lindsay Ellis. In it, Lindsay talks about the romantasy genre, which I was fascinated by. I've been hearing about it for years, never really knew what it was. And I think Lindsay's perspective on it as an author who writes about something that's kind of similar is really interesting. I would say it's definitely worth a watch, whether you are a big fan of romantasy or, like me, someone who has heard about it a lot but doesn't really know what it is. And you can find that video along with tons of other videos on this video's sponsor, Nebula. Nebula is a subscription streaming platform that I and a bunch of other YouTubers you probably already love helped to create. First thing that's important, all of our videos go up there early and ad-free. So if you want to be the first person to see one of my Nando V movies or Nando Cut videos, Nebula is for you. And then there are series like Jetlag or Tom Scott's England, where they go up on Nebula a week before they go anywhere else. Then we also have Nebula exclusive series of videos, like Tom Nicholas has a series called Slow News Day. Captain Midnight has a series called Showrunners, where he looks at different people that have created television shows. The first episode is about Rod Serling in The Twilight Zone. The second episode is about Vince Gilligan in Breaking Bad. Looks at the journey of how they got to where they were and how that shaped the series they would showrun. And then Curious Archives Gods and Monsters series looks at these different legendary creatures from religion and mythology and talks about how the ideas of those creatures has evolved over time and they've turned into pop culture characters. So you can find all that great stuff exclusively on Nebula. And a year of Nebula is already a steal at $60 a year. That is $5 a month. But if you go to go.nebula.tv/thenandocut, you can get Nebula for just $2.50 a month. That is $30 for the year. It's an awesome deal. Go check it out. I guarantee there is a creator you already love who's part of Nebula. And if you spend some time on Nebula, I bet you'll find your new favorite creator. After me, of course. Your second favorite creator because I'm your favorite. Don't correct me. Again, that is go.nebula.tv/thenandocut. All right, so I will have another video probably by the end of the week about some completely new casting. It's going to be Nimrod or Mojo or Toad. Until then, I will see you around.